Pin the transport as your focused target. Acetone assimilators are not necessary, but they help draw aggro from the biomolecular warheads. Learn to play without them. For waves 1 through 5, stay within 4 to 5 kilometers from the transport. Try to remain as level as possible with the transport.
Protect the loading simulation at difficulty level 1.
Follow up each gravity well with auxiliary to battery to reduce its cooldown. Hazard emitters, tractor beam repulsors, and gravity well are affected by auxiliary power at the time of activation. Auxiliary to battery does not affect the performance after using these powers, however, TBR and gravity well can be cancelled if your auxiliary power goes completely offline. Also note, auxiliary to battery will not reduce the cooldown of TBR until after it has finished its 10-second firing cycle.
Seconds to prepare before the difficulty level increases.
For maximum effect, time your buff activation to finish with the countdown timer. This will be important later for waves 6, 8, and 10. You will need to be able to pre-fire TBR or use gravity well immediately, with buffs ready.
Program paused. You have 15 seconds to prepare before the difficulty level increases. Loading simulation at difficulty level 4. Program paused. You have 15 seconds to prepare before the difficulty level increases.
In general, North should take the southwest flank for wave 5, while Float should take southeast. The biomolecular warheads won't do much damage at this stage, but remember to cover them. This allows West to do their job properly without distraction. Notice West using TBR right when the dreadnought warps in, preventing it from taking any action. This is the same tactic you will be using on North. Whether or not you use acetone assimilators, always remember to cover your warheads. North warhead platforms spawn on odd-numbered waves, then on every wave from wave 8 onward. You should always keep 2 copies of tactical team or have con-duty officers to reduce its cooldown, but if you only have 1, save it for the warheads. Use the first copy of tactical team immediately for the start of each wave, however, save your second tactical team until warheads are in range. I cannot stress this enough. Save your second tactical team for warheads. Don't be a hero, do your job, and cover your warheads. Let float do their job while you get in position.
Program paused. You have 15 seconds to prepare before the difficulty level increases.
For Wave 6, position yourself centered and level with the transport, 3 kilometers out, and have gravity well ready to be fired immediately. I was off-centered in this example. You will see how it makes the TBR push very sloppy. Follow up with TBR as soon as you see the dreadnought warp in. This depends on how fast South kills one of their ships, so it may appear either very early, or late, after your gravity well expires. Position yourself to stop between 5 and 6 kilometers from the transport. If you want to be extra safe, go a little further out, but be warned, as this will also make it harder to reposition yourself, especially in less maneuverable ships.
Program paused. You have 15 seconds to prepare before the difficulty level increases.
Position yourself between 4 and 5 kilometers for Wave 7. Gravity well the most centered target as soon as possible. Move in closer to your targets to maximize your damage. Regardless of whether you use acetone assimilators or not, do not use tactical team until warheads are in range. Be prepared for Wave 8. Position yourself at 3 kilometers, centered and level, with TBR ready. Use evasive maneuvers if needed to get in position. Have buffs ready and fire TBR immediately, preferably pre-firing it before the wave even starts. Gradually increase your speed to continue pushing your targets, again, stopping 5 to 6 kilometers from the transport, then fire gravity well at the dreadnought when you see it has reached at least 10 kilometers. At this distance, enemy ships will essentially deactivate and not fire or use powers such as viral matrix, subnucleonic beam, or isometric charge. However, they will continue to slowly drift toward the transport and will reactivate when they return within 5 or 6 kilometers. Remember, save your second tactical team till warheads are in range. Watch again, paying attention to the timing. TBR fired immediately. Gravity well the dreadnought as close to 10 kilometers as possible, then use A2B to reduce the cooldown. Use tactical team right as the warheads arrive.
Program paused. You have 15 seconds to prepare before the difficulty level increases.
Wave 9 plays identical to Wave 7. Gravity well the most centered target as soon as possible and use A2B to reduce cooldown. Again, don't be a hero, get ready for your next wave.
You have 15 seconds to prepare before the difficulty level increases.
Wave 10 plays identical to Wave 8. Position centered and level at 3 kilometers. Pre-fire TBR then gravity well the dreadnought when it reaches 10 kilometers. I was not level with the transport and started off too high, causing me to push the dreadnought downward while a warbird was pushed upward and out of range of my gravity well, making me the slowest to finish. Even a small mistake like this can be the difference between a win or a loss. Thanks for watching, and good luck.